Hi, hope you still remember what is the long form of CSS. So C stand for Cascading and SS stand for Style Sheets. So at the beginning of the CSS section, I introduced the styles, and then in the last video, I introduced the Style Sheets, which is a separate file with a .css as an extension. So this is what we call a style sheet. But what means by cascading? So cascading is a concept that most of the people who teach CSS may not even know or may not teach at some time. But as we are introducing CSS, I really want to introduce the main idea, cascading, what it means. So let's take a body style as an example. So as I said, when we import a CSS style sheet into the HTML with a link, this link will replace with style tag, closing tag, and then paste it here, right? So theoretically, so you can imagine the whole thing inside this style sheet is copy and paste into the HTML at the end. But what if at this stage we want to apart from importing the style from external folder, external file, we still want to add some style inside the HTML with a style tag. For example, this time I may want to do a body background color, and then not light blue, let's do green. Okay, so at this moment you can see in this HTML we actually have two styles for the whole body. One is the background color light blue, and the second one is a background color green. So in an even more extreme case, we may even do it inline. So we can go back to the body HTML tag, add a style HTML attribute, put the background color as red, right? So now the question comes, in this single HTML, I'm modifying the body background color 3 times. The first time is a light blue, the second time is a green, the third time is a red. So what color is actually displaying at the end? Let me give you like a 5 seconds for you to guess, right? So time's up. So what's your answer? If your answer is red, congratulations, you made it correct. So the idea of CSS cascading is it will go from the beginning until the second one, until the inline style, to see which decision is the last decision. So you remember CSS is a key value pair. So when a CSS compiles, it will take a look at the last key and take the last value as a source of truth of that style. So so that means that if we remove the style over here, it returns into green. But one tricky thing is you remember when we do an import with a link HTML tag, we will copy and paste the whole thing, replace the whole thing, right? So that means if this link line here, if I put it below the styles, according to the cascading rule, the first one would be background color green, and the second one would be background color light blue. So if I save it, hit the refresh, the color would be light blue. So this is a bit tricky during import. And the idea, the good thing of this idea is, for example, if in the table header I only want this name, I only want the name to have a font size much bigger, maybe a font size of 50 pixels. I can directly apply inline and still subscribing to the class table header, but not affecting the other header. So now we add a font size and then save it, come back. You can see the font of the name header is bigger, but at the same time not affecting the other HTML elements with the same class. So this is the idea of cascading. And the third thing is, okay, when we do a light blue in this side, and then we do a green background color afterward, we will change the background color, of course. But what I want to show is it won't change other CSS that is not with the same key. So let's say if I have a margin top for the body inside the exported CSS, and then I have a background color, and then come back to the HTML, I have a style, which is a background color green. The margin top will not be replaced. Only the background color will be replaced because the key appears over here. So if we save the whole thing, go back to the page, hit a refresh, you can see, okay, let me do a much more bigger, not 40 pixels, maybe 400 pixels. Yeah, then it looks much bigger. Then you can see the margin top is still there, even though it's not defined inside the style. So this is the idea of cascading. And I guess this is pretty much the end of the CSS part I want to introduce, and I will have a summary in the next video. So see you in the next video.